Hi everyone, this video is on equivalent expressions with negative numbers. So for this problem here, the first thing we would want to do is look and see minus a negative. Minus a negative becomes a positive. So that means this is now negative 8 plus 1 minus 5. So the answer is not A, the answer would be B. There's two answers though. For C, they have negative 8 plus a negative 1. That's not a negative 1. And then for D, they have a positive 8 plus a 1. That's not a positive 8. And then finally for E, they have a negative sign, and then they have everything in here as its opposite. So negative 8, negative, negative becomes a positive 1, and then negative, positive 5 gives you a negative 5. Okay, it's the same idea for this one. So we have a negative 4/7 minus 8/9 plus 4/7 plus 9/8. So first of all, you should recognize the negative 4/7 and the positive 4/7 can cancel. They're opposites of each other. One's a positive, one's a negative. So one answer here would be C. Okay. Looking at our other choices, it's definitely not E because these are not opposites. This is 8/9, this is 9/8. So now we have to look at the other choices. So again, if there's a negative outside of the parentheses, that changes the signs of what are inside the parentheses. So that would be negative, but then that would make this one also negative, and it's supposed to be a positive. So the answer is not A. Here's the negative sign. So that negative sign would make this a negative, which is true. It would then make this a positive though, and that's supposed to be a negative. So the answer is not B. This negative would make this become a negative. It would make this become a negative. This stays a positive and this stays a positive. So the answer is D. All right, so Fred tried to evaluate an expression step by step. So negative 10 plus 6 became negative 4, and then you still have the minus 5. Negative 4 plus negative 5 gives you then, he says, 9. However, if you owe 4 and you owe 5, you owe 4 and then you owe 5, that would mean that you would owe 9. You would not have a positive 9. So the mistake is at step number 3. All right, which of the following expressions are equivalent to 4 plus 14 minus 2? So again, if there's a plus sign does not change anything here. That would stay the same, okay? So we have to look at our choices. If there's a negative sign, that makes both of these their opposites. So that means this negative, this minus would make this a positive 14, but then it would also make this a positive 2, and that's not positive 2. This would be 4 minus 14, but this would be 4 plus 14 minus 2, because a plus sign doesn't change anything. So for this one, the minus and negative would become a positive. So this would be 4 plus 14, then minus 2. So one answer is C. 4 plus 14 plus a negative 2. Adding a negative 2 is the same thing as subtracting 2. So the answer then would be D. Oh, but there were 3 answers. So they told me that I was almost there. I missed one. And for E, if we look, this negative sign would make both of these their opposites. So the negative makes this a positive 4, makes this a positive 14, which is what we want. And then we still have the minus 2. So what you need to remember is that a negative sign, a minus sign in front of a parentheses makes everything inside the parentheses its opposite. Hopefully that video helped.